Hey there, hope you're well. My name's Coop, welcome to Think Can Will. In these videos I share tips and advice just to help you get on at work, get on in life and achieve your potential. So if it's something you're interested in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Why is everything so complicated? Have you ever tried to get something done only to find yourself caught up in a tangled web of processes and forms and protocol? It's frustrating, isn't it? So listen, as humans we have this tendency to overthink and overcomplicate matters. And in lots of things that we do, there's always so many options available to us where, we kind of have this urge to sort of think, right, do you know what? I can use that and I can add this and I'll throw that at it, and we chuck all this stuff on, and before you know it, this thing has become overly complicated and out of control. But just because you can does not mean that you should. Think about it, many of us have worked in those places where, simple tasks just seem so overcomplicated and often unnecessarily so. Or we've had to use a service where there's this lengthy drawn out process when all we really want is the one thing that we're entitled to. So I've seen it a million times. I've worked in a range of different environments and industries, and there's always people that just want to basically chuck the kitchen sink at a process. We'll add this step here and we'll put an additional check there. We'll ask for an extra form at this stage, and then at the end of it we'll ask for 4 people to sign it off just to really make sure. Let me tell you this though, any idiot can overcomplicate things. The real genius comes in simplifying. If you can find a way to make it accessible, clear, easy to use, accurate, effective, most importantly efficient, then you are headed in the right direction. So that's why my message to you today is just remember, anything that you're designing or creating or producing or reviewing, keep it simple. Many people like to use the acronym K.I.S.S, so keep it simple, stupid. Which I believe began with the US Navy back in the 60s, but that should always be your aim, that should always be your go-to kind of mentality and philosophy when it comes to anything that you are implementing. Keep it simple. Rather than thinking, what can I throw in there, what can I add to the process, and what tools are available, what new and exciting things are there that I can chuck in just because I can. Instead of thinking, what can I chuck in it, think about how can I kiss it. And for those of you that love it, that also means removing a lot of your jargon, I'm afraid. So, when you're writing a report, a business case, it's natural to want to put in as much information as you can, to put in all the detail. But think about your audience, think about the people that are going to be reading your business case. They're not going to have the same knowledge that you do, they're not going to understand it in the same way that you do. So, rather than adding in all the detail just to make sure you've covered it, think about, okay, what can I strip out, what doesn't need to be in there, what is overcomplicating the message that I'm trying to get across here. Sometimes less really is more, and you'll often find that you can make a much stronger argument by removing all of the noise. Similarly, think about when you're designing a process or writing some procedures, for example. Is there duplication? Are there extra steps, unnecessary steps? Are there additional checks that you've put in there just because you sort of think, well, we may as well? Does it make sense? Do not overcomplicate whatever it is you're doing. That's easy. Find your ways to keep it simple. And it applies to so much. So think about Amazon, for example. Your Amazon purchase. One of the reasons Amazon is so successful is because it's so easy to use. You go on, you do a quick search, find what you want, within a couple of clicks you've ordered it, and it's going to turn up tomorrow. They've kept it simple. Your aim, like I said, should be to keep it clear, keep it simple as possible for think about the end users. Who are those people that are going to be using whatever it is that you're designing or creating or writing, and think about the end user and how is it going to be for them. You want to make it basically as simple as you can, to the point where you could, if we're talking about process, for example, make it so simple that you could grab somebody off the street, sit them at a computer and say, do that. And they can work their way through your process with no prior knowledge and still get the task done. Something really simple that you can do for me is just hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, so you'll get an alert next time I post a new video. So, the thing I would just say to bear in mind though is it takes time and it takes effort. It is much harder to simplify than it is to overthink and overcomplicate. But I promise you this, if you give it the time and effort that it deserves and focus on trying to find ways to keep things simple, the impact for the end user, for you as the manager, for the team around you, whoever it might be, everybody involved, is going to be a much more positive one. And remember, if you think you can, you will. So listen, until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon.